Hi guys from TechnoLost and welcome to the unboxing of the latest PadFone 2 from Asus. This one is the 64GB non-expandable internal storage version, the black one. There will be a 32GB version as well as a 16GB version, not in every market of course, as well as there will be a white version, although we don't know yet when it will be released. Well, let's see what we have inside the box. Let me open it. Sorry guys, but there are no plastic here because I've just performed the Italian unboxing, so I removed the plastics. So here we have the PadFone 2 and here we have the pad. Let's see. This one is the PadFone 2. Okay. And here we have the pad. So let's just give a quick look at the pad. The size of the pad is 263 millimeters for 180.8 millimeters, and it's just 10.4 millimeter thick in the thickest part. The weight is 514 grams for the pad, of course. Not bad. Just let's have a quick look. We have a 1 megapixel camera here on the front, a light sensor. Then the back of the pad has kind of rubber finish. We have here a microphone. This is the slot where we can insert the PadFone 2. Here we have the speaker grill. Then on the right side we have the volume rocker. Here on the upper side we have the power button. Nothing on the left side. And on the back side we have the Asus proprietary 13-pin micro USB connector. This is backside compatible with the normal micro USB connector, although maybe it just wiggle a little bit because the hole is too big. So this is the pad. The pad has a 5000 milliampere hours battery inside. So let's put this apart, and just to give you an idea, here we have an iPad 2, just to show you the size comparison of the two, right? This one is 4:3 ratio, this one is 16:9 ratio. So let's put the iPad apart as well as the Pad 2, and now let's give a look at the PadFone 2. Well guys, this one is the bad guy PadFone 2. We have here 137.9 millimeters for 68.9 millimeters wide, and the thickness at the thickest part of 9 millimeters here. The weight is 135 grams. It's quite light. Seems like we don't have battery inside, while we do have battery, because this is not really a unibody design, of course, but Asus tell us that we shouldn't remove too often the battery cover here, the back battery cover. Although we can remove it, we can even change the battery, although Asus use some kind of warranty sticker on the battery, which tell us you cannot remove the battery on your own. Anyway, let's give a quick look at the sides of the device. And the materials used are very good. We have here, this bezel here is metal. This is not plastic, this is real metal. So it's like, you know, feeling in your hand an iPhone. It's the same feeling because it's all metal. It's really sturdy. Very nice feeling. Even the volume rocker and the power button seems made up of metal. So very nice indeed. We have Corning Gorilla Glass, so it's the first version here on the front. Metal around the bezel here. The back cover is just plastic with this kind of circular pattern, which is very nice and does, you know, you have a much better grip while you hold it in your hand with this pattern on the back. Good work, Asus. Good job, sorry. We have then 13 megapixel Sony backside illuminated sensor with a lens f2.4, which is the same aperture size we have in the iPhone, and it's a little bit better than what we have, for instance, in Galaxy S3, which is f2.6, and Galaxy Note 2, but slightly worse than the HTC One X and One X Plus, which has f2.0. We have flashlight, speaker grill here. Then on the right side we have volume rocker and power button. On the upper side we have the SIM tray here, and we have the 3.5 audio jack. Nothing on the left side. On the back we have the Asus proprietary micro USB connector, and we have here the microphone. This proprietary micro USB connector made from Asus is retro compatible with the normal micro USB connector, and it's even MHL capable. Then on the back, as I told you, we have the backside illuminated sensor and all the stuff. On the front we have the 1.2 megapixel camera, light sensor, proximity sensor, and the speaker here. So while I'll just turn on the device, I'm sorry, first of all just a quick comparison with an iPhone 5 and a Galaxy Note 2. The size of the display is 4.7 inches for the PadFone 2, sorry. We have on the iPhone 4 inches, and we have on the Note 2 5.5 inches. Okay, so let's start this bad boy while we speak about the hardware specs. So the PadFone 2 is really interesting indeed for what concern hardware specs. This is one of the few mobile phone having the latest and greatest APQ 8064 Qualcomm Snapdragon S Pro Crate family CPU, which is considered being a kind of A15 ARM architecture, although it's not ARM licensed architecture, so it's something different, but it's quite near to the A15 ARM architecture. This quad-core is capable of 1.5 GHz and asymmetric speed, so this means that every single CPU of the four we have here can just be clocked at a different speed regardless one to each other. So we have 28 production service, and we have a GPU which is an Adreno 320. Then we have 2 GB of internal RAM, as well as in this version 64 GB of internal non-expandable storage. Then we have Wi-Fi ABGN dual band, Bluetooth version 4.0, and NFC. We have a very great connectivity. I mean, we have LTE, 100 megabit in download speed and 50 megabit in upload speed. We have HSDPA 21.2 megabit, and we have HSUPA 5.76 megabit per second. Then we have AGPS as well as GLONASS. So we have both standard for GPS systems, which is great for GPS locking speed and accuracy. Then we have almost all the sensors we can find in any Android devices, like the G sensor, E-compass, gyroscope, proximity sensor, light sensor, although we don't have here any notification on that, and this is really a pity. Then the other great spec of this device is the panel itself. We have here a 4.7 Super IPS Plus display at a resolution of 1280 for 720 pixel with a density of 312 ppi. But what is really great is that here we have a sharp IGZO panel, which is, for those of you who already knows, the same panel we can find inside the iPhone 5. What are the benefits of this panel? Well, first of all, we have here 550 nits, so such a great brightness for a mobile device. Then we have a smaller bezel. The IGZO panel has a smaller bezel respect other panels. The IGZO panel has the touchpad integrating inside the panel itself, so it's much thinner and there is less gap between the glass and the panel itself. Then it's much more responsive than normal LCD or AMOLED display. The Asus 4.7 panel is capable of 65 millisecond responsiveness, which is great. And I mean, you can see this is flying. This is incredible, really. So fast, so smooth. I cannot even believe that it just have ICS inside. Incredible. This is nothing to do with pressure batteries. So much better. Then we have what else we can say? We have a Corning glass here, as well as an anti-fingerprint film. The display in the pad is a 10.1 Super IPS panel, so it's not IGZO panel made by Sharp. It's just a normal IPS panel with a resolution of 1280 for 800. Although we have there two Corning glass Gorilla, and we have the anti-fingerprint film. Well, Asus tell us that we have some kind of technology that it calls DDS, which is Dynamic Display Switch, which means that the apps that Asus modified itself for working with this technology just stretch themselves up to full screen when you open them in the phone and you connect the phone to the pad. So it goes from the resolution of 720p to the resolution of 800p. Well, what else? I already told you about the front-facing camera, which is 1.2 here on the phone and it's 1.0 on the pad. So let's just have a quick talk about the rear camera, which is a 13 megapixel backside illuminated made by Sony, as I told you, with f2.4 and 5 elements in the lens. Good. But what is really interesting is that this camera, together with the new CPU, is capable of a burst shot of 100 shot. Wow! As well as we can have burst shot at the speed of 6 frames per second, which is very good because the S3 is capable of 5 frames per second, while the old HTC One X was capable of 3.3 frames per second. Then this bad guy here is capable of recording, of course, an 1080p video at 30 frames per second, while this is the great news, is capable of recording 720p at 60 frames per second, while 480p at 90 frames per second. Then what else? Asus tell us that they have a special subsystem for the sound, which they call Sonic Master. Sonic Master was realized in collaboration with Bang and Olufsen, so quite a famous name in the audio scene. So I will tell you if it does sound good or not. Then we have a battery of 2140 milliampere hours inside the PadFone 2, while we have a battery of 5000 milliampere hours inside the PadFone. I will talk to you later in the review all the settings Asus made to recharge the PadFone while inserting into the pad or not. Well, the last things I can tell you is this proprietary connector here, which is even MHL capable. So we have so much stuff in this new PadFone 2. Just wait a few days for a new dedicated focus and maybe a little bit more for the full review, because this bike guide does deserve time to be tested. So once more, thanks for watching and bye from TechnoLost.